Today, I'm introducing a piece of legislation that would ban any president of the United States, any member of Congress, from issuing a meme coin in order to get paid secretly by people who have business before the federal government. Trump's meme coin, it's the most unethical, the most corrupt thing a president of the United States has ever done. It's essentially a way for any corporate CEO, any Saudi prince, any foreign oligarch who has business before the Trump administration to send Trump money privately, secretly, and then whisper to the Trump administration about how much money they've sent and the favor that they need. This piece of legislation is called the Meme Act. I'm introducing it with Representative Sam Liccardo from California. And this is a chance for Republicans and Democrats to come together and say that none of us, no member of the executive branch, no member of Congress should be able to profit off of their position. And certainly we should not allow for these secret ways for very powerful, very rich people to be able to send money to a member of Congress or the president of the United States. This is a common sense bill, and we should just get it.
Hey, what's going up, Bull Runners? Welcome back to the channel. Buckle up, because something massive is brewing in the crypto world, and it's got the elites scrambling. Whispers are circulating, big players, shadowy whales, and even governments are making moves that could flip the market upside down. Wallets holding over 10,000 XRP are exploding past 300,000. Why now? Is this a signal of a bull run, or are we being set up for a brutal bear market trap? And get this, the Federal Reserve just dropped $14.8 billion on 10-year bonds today. Coincidence? Or are they bracing for something that we're not supposed to know? Oh, and New Hampshire just made history as the first state with a Bitcoin reserve law. The chessboard is shifting, and if you're not paying attention, you could miss the biggest wealth transfer in the crypto history. But don't worry, I've got you covered, so stick with me over the next few minutes, and I'll break it all down for you in plain English, no fluff. We'll uncover what these moves mean, why they're happening now, and how you can position yourself to profit. The solution is knowledge and action, and I'm handing you the tools to navigate this chaos. And if you stay with me until the end, I'm going to show you how to get exclusive access to our crypto community Altcoin Pro University and get it for free. Plus, we will be jumping over to X to find out all the important financial news that's happening in the markets right now. And at the end of the video, we will also be jumping into the XRP charts to find out that next support and resistance. We did bounce exactly off this support level that we've been talking about for the last couple of days. Our next resistance will be here at 225. But where is it going next? Or are we going to be dropping down to the bottom? We also will be checking in on our short-term and long-term momentum waves. And we here at the Bull Runners are giving away $100 in XRP. We're actually giving it away every single week. The announcement will be held tomorrow, Sunday. Make sure you subscribe today. Congratulations to Trial by Fire for winning last week's. And if you want to win this week, all you have to do is like this post, comment XRP below, sign up for Blowfin using our affiliate link right here, and the announcement will be made in our daily email newsletter on the Sunday edition. You can always also subscribe to our Altcoin Secrets daily newsletter and get our free ebook if you would like to do that as well. But first, let's head over to CoinMarketCap and check out the overall crypto market cap and the health of the crypto market today. Right now, we are at 2.98 trillion. We're up 0.61% in the last 24 hours. As we've been talking about on the 30-day chart here, we have continued to have new higher highs and new higher lows, creating great new bullish market structure over the last 30 days. We are still looking to break back above this $3 trillion and claim it as official support. We did just recently break down. Zooming out to the 12-month chart here, or the yearly, you can see we did create a new market structure here, a new higher high. The previous high coming in on March 25th at 2.87. Now we have surpassed the $3 trillion mark. The next level we would like to see climb back up to this 3.5 trillion. Part that I'm looking for most urgently right now is breaking back above this 3.15 trillion and creating another new higher high. This one coming back to us from March 2nd, 3.15 trillion on a huge day, $173 billion worth of volume that day. As you can see right now, we're at 2.96. and only $67 billion of volume. Fear and greed index is climbing a little bit. Yesterday was at a 49. Today we're at 50. Altcoin season index is starting to try to tick up here. We are still in Bitcoin season, as you can see, 23 out of 100. And that's because Bitcoin dominance is absolutely skyrocketing, 64.5%. And when you look at it on TradingView, it has now broken out of this section that we were talking about that could be a potential resistance. Unfortunately, it did not. Unfortunately, due to the fact that I wanted to see some altcoins run, but it broke above the 64%. TradingView has a little bit different numbers. It's currently trading at 65.2%. The next resistance level that could potentially be coming in is 67.66%. Continuing our tracking of Bitcoin ETFs, yesterday when we did the video, the outflow was actually minus 18 million, but after the numbers completed for the day, came in plus 425 million. This is absolutely insane, the amount of volume that has continued to flow into the ETF market. These are your daily candles as far as inflow goes over the last 30 days. And as you can see, a lot of volume to the upside. And when we zoom out to the yearly, like I've been covering 2 weeks ago, we had the second largest ever inflow, $3 billion. Last week, $1.8 billion. And already this week, $425 million to the upside. We do need to see continued inflows this week. We definitely don't want to see a tapering off of volume, because then we would be potentially running into a fake out to the upside. As you can see, last time these ETFs really started getting some massive inflows is when price ran extremely hard, but when it started tapering off to the downside, it had its recent high and then it sold off to the most recent lows. Heading over here to X to find out what's going on. So breaking, the Fed is not going to do quantitative easing. Tomorrow, there is a potential of Jerome Powell reducing the interest rates. However, the last 2 days, the Federal Reserve has bought $14.8 billion worth of 10-year bonds today, and that's on top of the $20 billion that it bought yesterday. So now that's $34.8 billion in the last 2 days. Because of that, personally, I do not see them dropping interest rates after all. The European Central Bank plans to partner with a private sector developer to give them their digital euro. In a press release, the ECB claimed that the findings will be shared in a report later this year. So who will be helping them create their central bank digital dollar, the European central dollar? Is it going to be the Ripple network? Now, as you heard in the intro of this video as well, 300,000 wallets now hold 10,000 XRP. But check this out, only 993,000 Bitcoin addresses have more than one Bitcoin. And that's interesting because that's less than 1 million people. And we also know a lot of these big whales that hold lots of Bitcoin have multiple addresses that hold over one. So less than 1 million people have one whole Bitcoin. And the first to ever do it, the state reserve race update, New Hampshire becomes the first state to enact a Bitcoin reserve legislation. Governor Oyet signed HB 302 into law this morning. New Hampshire introduced Committee 1, Chamber 1, Committee 2, Chamber 2, and enacted officially. Arizona came close. As you all know, they turned it down because she would not sign the actual bill. North Carolina's coming in close. Texas is getting there. Alabama, Alaska, and Georgia are in the committee section. And as we talked about, tomorrow will be the FOMC. The Federal Reserve will announce its decision on interest rates on May 7th at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And if you've been following XRP for any period of time, you know that there's so many crazy coincidences. It's almost like a time traveler is telling us what's going to be happening in the future, with XRP going to be the standard of money. Well, the Thursday Sunshine meeting on May 8th, 2025 will be the first meeting since the Larson and Paul private closed door meeting, which happened last Friday. And this meeting will fall on 5/8/9. Coincidence? I don't think so. That'll be the 5th month, which is May, 8th day, which is 8th day, 8, and 9 being 2025. 9, you add them up, equally 9. Coincidence that Brad Garlinghouse came out with a statement on Monday night after being so quiet? I don't believe in coincidences. I think the rate cut and the SEC announcement is imminent. I'm very bullish on this week. Let's go. It's a done deal, signed, sealed, delivered. And as we know, Brad Garlinghouse did tweet out Q1 2025 was an incredible quarter for Ripple, with the acquisition of Hidden Road and the end of the SEC case, not to mention institutional interest in XRP ETPs globally. Moving forward, the XRP markets report will look a little different, as many remember The objective of publishing these reports starting in 2017 was transparency into Ripple's holdings of XRP, which unfortunately was then used against us by the SEC and others. Our commitment is transparency doesn't change. With this evolution, we will continue to publish our XRP holdings on Ripple.com XRP. Ripple and XRP related ongoing updates will also be shared through existing social channels rather than collated for a single end of quarter update. And Mr. Bitcoin Dominance himself, Benjamin Cohen, posted this out earlier 10 hours ago. 65% Bitcoin dominance feels pretty good, but it has me wondering, what would 66% Bitcoin dominance feel like? And he obviously posted that one 10 hours ago. And then he posted it under his previous tweet, which from May 18th, 2022, when he said 45% Bitcoin dominance feels pretty good, but what would 46% feel like? And that seems like a very long time ago, May 18th, 2022. 3 years ago, we were talking about 45% dominance, and now we're all the way up at 65, potentially 66. And as you saw on the charts, potentially 67% dominance coming. Are altcoins falling away? Are other coins besides Bitcoin SHIT coins? Jim Cramer says, I don't believe Bitcoin can reach 500,000, let alone $1 million. That's improbable. So the inverse Cramer, let's see if it strikes again for those Bitcoin holders out there. Today, I'm introducing a bill, the Meme Act, to ban presidential member of Congress from issuing a meme coin. The Trump coin is the biggest corruption scandal in history. We covered this yesterday in depth in our video, and it is pretty interesting, right? Because if anybody launches a coin, we could have, as they put it, foreign governments. We could have big major companies sending and buying a whole bunch of this token to pump up the value of that token so then you could take profit being the owner or holder of many tokens. Is there a conflict of interest there? Let me know what you think down in the comments. Breaking: UK Treasury rules out a national Bitcoin reserve, says following US lead not appropriate for its market. So we just saw the state of New Hampshire officially pass a Bitcoin reserve bill. We know the United States has its Bitcoin reserve bill, but the UK is not going to be doing a similar act. And just in Florida, strategic Bitcoin reserve bill has failed. So these are the different states that you can see here on the map that have proposed their bill. And we went through a little bit of this in the beginning. The X's are the ones that have been declined. They've said, no, we're not interested in doing it. The black ones haven't even considered doing any Bitcoin reserve bills so far. As we talked about in the intro of the video, XRP accumulation is happening. Wallets holding over 10,000 coins crosses over 300,000 now. A major accumulation trend is currently going on with XRP, and crypto whales are actively adding to their positions. We talked about this for a very long time. Even though the markets are coming down, these bulls are definitely pumping their bags. And this provides a bullish outlook for the altcoin, considering it could break out from its current range following this accumulation phase. Over 300,000 addresses hold over 10,000 XRP, which screams rising confidence from whales and larger holders. A strategic accumulation looks to be back and raise the possibility of the big players trying to front run a major move in the XRP ecosystem. As we know, XRP ETFs will be coming, and the conclusion of the lawsuit is coming. I mean, it's here, but it's not officially announced by the SEC. XRP ETFs now have a 90% chance of approval. And as you see what's going on as far as the pump of volume into into Bitcoin with the ETFs and the amount that the price is going up, XRP could definitely see a huge surge once these massive amounts of ETFs are approved. Also, wallets holding between 10 million and 100 million XRP have bought around 900 million XRP over the past month. Amid this accumulation trend, traders are also leaning bullish towards the asset. So XRP Army holding strong, getting tons of extra XRP into their wallet before the next leg of the upside. Jumping over to XRP in the charts here on TradingView, as we've been talking about, our long-term momentum wave has finally passed back above the zero line on our Wolfpack indicator, indicating bullish trend momentum. However, we did run into a third hidden bearish divergence, and the last two have had a significant drop to the downside, as you can see on these right here. Also, our market structure has had continuous lower highs and lower lows, with this previous resistance that we just ran into at $2.25, sending us back down. However, we did have a nice fat order block right here between $2.09 and $2.04, holding up nicely. Our shaft trend cycle has reset back to zero and it's ready for a move back to the upside, which is what we've been following along with. And when we take a look at Bitcoin on the daily as well, we can see when they crossed over the zero line, it had a lot more power behind it and it's been running very bullish ever since. So when we take a look when the cross happened, which was right here, April 20th, the next day it really started to surge, and that's where we've been seeing this run. So from 85,000 all the way up to 87,000, and today we're having a nice run. Also, shaft trend cycle resetting on Bitcoin. So we'll know in the next 24, 48 hours if this is going to surge to the upside. We are bullish here, and if a nice surge starts to come in, we could see a serious push to the upside. Last time our Wolfpack indicator flipped bullish was right here, January 14th. Also, the shaft trend cycle reset as well there. And the price, believe it or not, was in this exact same spot, which is kind of mind-blowing, 94,000, and it made its run all the way up to its newest all-time high. So we do have the momentum in the bullish category. We've got a reset on our short-term cycle here for Bitcoin. We take a look at XRP, and we are above the zero line, so we are still bullish here. We have fully reset. And we should know in the next 24 to 48 hours. What I'm looking for is what we're going to keep in mind. We need to break above $2.20, which is our 50 exponential moving average. Then we will see resistance at 225. We need to break that. And we would surge up to the 250 level, $2.50. Once we pass the 250, then we'll be getting back into that 280 level. Those are my numbers to the upside. So 220, break 225, 250, 280. All of those are possible with the shaft trend cycle move to the upside and trending along like we saw over here. Conversely, if we break back down, if we lose this bullish momentum on our long-term indicator here, it breaks back down below zero, we could lose this great support level that would fail at $2.04, meaning we'd be returning to $1.90 as a support. And then if we lose that, there's a potential of coming all the way back down to our daily trend line here, bringing us to $1.65. And then when we look back in the past, we can see right here during our big move to the upside, there was a 4-day cool-off period right here at about $1.50, and price could definitely start to come down if we lose our bullish momentum. However, I am more optimistic, more bullish than bearish at the moment, but I do need to see this price surge back above 220. And for those of you guys looking to sign up for Altcoin University, I want to show you something that is very powerful that we offer. When you come into our classrooms, there's a really cool section here where you can go through a bunch of different things in our community. And this is called DeFi yield picks. And so I was scrolling through this and we were set up with an announcement back on March 9th. So you could have been in this for a very long time, but this is a new DeFi yield opportunity. CBBTC and Solana. So I have some extra Solana sitting off to the side and I was like, you know what? Prices are going down. I want to make some yield off of this. And so I went through this. And what's really cool is when you click on the actual post, it tells you exactly how to do it. So the difficult level of this one was hard, but in reality, I just simply watched this video right here and followed along 11 minutes. I was able to do it in 11 minutes. It was very, I mean, if there's easier ones, then that's fantastic. This was labeled as hard, but you want to get in here and earn yield on your money that's just sitting there. If this is hard, this is like everybody can do this, which is really cool. The network is Solana. The protocol is Orca. The current yield is about 200% APY, which is variable, changes over time. The reward tokens are in Orca. And then the farming time horizon is half a month to 2 months. So even though that this was March 9th and we're now in May, this is still valid, which is great. Suggested size minimum of $1,000 for any marginable impact. However, for learning purposes, a very small amount. So for me, I was like, all right, everyone keeps on raging about how much they're making with these DeFi yield opportunities. I'm not doing any of that because I'm just doing simple buy and hold and a couple of day trade stuff here and there. I want to try something different. Everyone's talking about the yield on our team. So DeFi Mo, Curious J, Solj, all of our analysts have been like really talking about how you can always make money with crypto with yield farming. So I was like, all right, I'm going to try it out. Well, today I officially got it set up. Now I didn't have too much money sitting on the sidelines, but I got $560 in here. And the way that it works is I've got Coinbase, Bitcoin, and I've got Solana. So there's $244 worth of Coinbase Bitcoin and $314.97 worth of Solana provided as liquidity. This is my range that I was able to do. I did a custom range here. So when you click on it, you can come over here and make your changes as you go. First, I would have to harvest the yield. Right now, I literally just started this about an hour ago. So I've already got 5 cents in there. But my estimated 24-hour yield, I'll be making $1.72 every 24 hours based on $559. Now, as you saw on the report there, it said to put in a minimum of 1,000 to see any meaningful amount. So if I would have had an additional $500, I didn't. I just had a small amount of Solana sitting there for right now. So if this is going to make me $1.72 times 2, exactly $3.44 a day, right? So if I was in there for $1,100, so let's say that $3.44 a day times 30 days, so 344 times 30 equals $103. So Altcoin Pro University, which is our entire class, it gives you way more than just the DeFi yield opportunity. You find one of these yield opportunities and you play it for a month or 2 or 3 or however many you want, makes you $100 a month. Plus you can compound it over time, of course. So this pays for my membership every single month if I just add another $500 to this right here. So that's very exciting to see. So for those of you on the fence and you're like, well, if it was free, I would definitely sign up for it. Well, now you can actually go in, learn the skills, apply the skills, and actually get your rewards in the yield just based off of one liquidity pool to pay your monthly fees, which is very exciting. So if you are more of a reader than a video watcher, it's got the full setup here. Set up your wallet, the steps on how to do it, your exit the position, how to do that, notes. This pool has to be managed actively, but it earns good and consistent rewards so far. The pool has impermanent loss risk, so only deposit when you're comfortable holding both assets, meaning Solana and Bitcoin BTC. Impermanent loss, meaning prices go down, then you could be losing as well. But if you're still just holding it, doesn't really matter. The opportunity is suitable for users with higher risk tolerance seeking substantial returns. Since Solana might have a little bit more downside potential, you could set a range so that you're scaling into Solana if you want to add to your stash while being a little buffered towards the downside. So very exciting. Like I said, our analyst DeFi Mo posting that one. That one was just an easy one. I had some Solana. There is also one that came out 2 days ago for you XRP holders. We got XRP difficulty level medium, token XRP and USDT. Network is Binance Smart Chain. Protocol, you'll do this on its Pancake Swap. There is a full-on video that teaches you how to do that as well. This will be good for the next half to 3 months or as long as it's economically beneficial. Suggested size, minimum $1,000 for any marginal impact. However, for learning purposes, like if you want to test it out, like I did $500, maybe you want to do $20, whatever the case may be, get in there and learn DeFi yield farming. Huge, powerful resource for you in the future.